I have never witnessed a brutal decline like this in all my life, but James Wynn has continued his ascent into descent because he's now got an account balance of 1.5 million. For some reason, last night he went 40x long on Bitcoin with $1 million and is now sat $1 million in a loss with his liquidation point at $104,150. 1.5 million left in the account. If you look at that 24-hour P&L, you can see as soon as he opens a trade, it's so sad. As soon as he opens a trade, bam, 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 bam. Disgusting. That is the only way to describe this, especially given from my perspective, that was the easiest short position ever because we did exactly what I said I would do, or not what I would do, what Bitcoin would do in yesterday's video. Yesterday's video, I said, it's probably got some upside to it, probably hit 106K and then drop to the downside come Monday morning. It's done exactly that. And if an idiot like me can work it out, come on. I think we're toasted at this point. And I think that generally when you see people blowing accounts like this, generally it means we're about to come to the downside quite significantly. And if you're looking here, we are literally sat on such a key level of support that if we lose this level of support, there's a couple of different ways of drawing it. You've got that way and you've got this way. But assuming that we lose both of those, that upside momentum and this upside momentum, if we're losing both of them, Bitcoin's toasted and it's going to get its feet held to the fire today. In terms of how I'm positioned right now, I actually have made some pretty big changes overnight. So I've reduced all of these trades to basically nothing. Again, they were only 30K, 90K. These were hundreds of thousands of dollars the other day. I took this morning, as soon as I woke up, I saw the price of S&P 6,900 was ridiculous because, I mean, it was back over $1 billion valuation. Above $1, it's above $1 billion valuation. So I was like, that's just ridiculous. It's clearly not worth $1 billion. It's a meme coin. So we took a small short on that. That's kind of covered off any losses from there. And that puts us in an interesting position because right now we actually have less in the account than yesterday. But that's because I've made 2 withdrawals there for about $40,000. One is to load up the Golden FX section of BYBIT's website, so definitely make an account on BYBIT because if you're not familiar, gold, FX, crypto, and debit cards, and you can get that. I mean, if I refresh my balance so it's actually correct, is it the same today? Yeah, it is. But you can see you get cash back for spending on BYBIT card. It's a great place to cash out from. You'll find it linked in today's video description. But back to it. It's just disgusting. And if we lose this level of support here, things are going to get so much worse. Not for James, because James has only got down to 104. And then after 104, it's all over for him. There is no more. So how is the price of Bitcoin looking? Well, you can see we look like we're heading towards that $100,000 range down there. That's the most up-to-date version of this chart, and you can see there's a big level of liquidity down here. So the odds are we do probably hit 100K this week, unless later today something big happens. Now, there is one big thing on the cards today. Let me just find out where it is. Here we go. Jerome Powell might resign later today, and the Trump administration will move to cut rates immediately after. Now, that part's not true. I know I tweeted this, but it's actually the admin on my account. But the Trump administration will move to cut rates immediately after. They can't do that. That's the Fed's job. But it is realistic that Jerome Powell might decide to admit defeat and just retire at the end of today. So I don't think that's the case. I actually think he's going to make just a general kind of market update. I don't think it's anything serious. But I do think this is scaring the markets, or rather, people are anticipating that the price is going to go up very significantly if he quits. And if he doesn't quit, and it's just another meeting, then the price is going to go down, and that'll act as a bearish catalyst. So do be very aware of that because, in the next, he's looking rough. So for me, anyway, what are the other big changes in the account? The main big change was, if we go over to Unified Trading Account, you'll see that now I only have $49,000 of Solana and $25,000 of USDT. Reason for that is because I pulled out the 40K earlier today, and to do that, I sold half of my Solana bag at 157. So I actually timed that quite well. If we look at, no, it's not on there, is it? It's on the spot section. I don't know how to, assets, here we go. Assets, you can see, what are we at now? We're overall on Solana, we're losing $500. It's nothing really. But that's on what's left, I think. And I actually think I took profit on the rest of it because I'd sold at 157. So I don't know. It's neither here nor there. It didn't really work out, but it doesn't really matter. I'll probably close this trade pretty soon because, to be fair, it is a scalp trade, and meme coin trades, you should just take profit on them pretty quickly. But overall, what are we expecting for the direction for the day? Well, we need to hold this level of support. We're probably due a bounce here, to be honest, at $104,000, maybe back up to $105,100 or something like that. Then Jerome gets on his stream later today, delivers the bad news that he's not retiring, or at least I consider that good news. I'm quite a big Jerome Powell fan. I think that Jerome Powell is really good for America, and he is the balance that America needs. And if he is to quit, I actually think it's such a bearish thing for the long term. In the short term, I would expect markets to pump, but in the long term, nah, can't see it, because Jerome is the balance that America needs. And without Jerome, it becomes so weighted on the debt side, it could become so weighted on the aggressive rate cut side that I just don't see it working out very well in about 2 or 3 years' time. And it'll lead up to a massive market collapse, which will be amazing to trade, but it'll suck it for the people in real life. Either way, politics aside, what are we expecting for the rest of the day? Well, yes, bit of a bounce upwards and then probably more downside after Jerome gets on his stream for Bitcoin. If we look at the oscillator, in fact, what's the oscillator saying? Oscillator is high right now. It looks like it's going to start coming back to the downside. Last time it started coming to the downside and the oscillator moved all the way to the downside, we had to quite a big cool off in the price of Bitcoin, and we're kind of repeating the same pattern again. So just be very aware, the oscillator is not looking so great right now for Bitcoin. We have been rejected at 106, and that's not amazing news. When it comes to Ethereum, again, very similar story. Oscillator starting to head to the downside on the daily chart. We have been rejected again at this moving average level here, indicating that we are at least going to come back down and retest the white line here around $2,208. That probably means for me that I should also probably sell my Ethereum. I think that was in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure it was in this section. Yeah, there you go. So I'm losing $150 on the Ethereum. I may as well sell that because there's no point having the risk going into what could be a very volatile day. So I'll probably sell that after I've finished filming today's video. Don't forget, of course, if you do want the Stonksy oscillator, you can get it. I think the price goes up today to £55. So this is your last opportunity to get it at £44. Or you can get it all included in the monthly plan, which includes the color change indicator and everything like that. And just to show you how accurate it is, let's have a quick peek here at how it's performed. So it caught on the 5 minute here, it caught the lovely run upwards there. Didn't close it as the opportune time. It gave a bearish signal. It went upwards and then continued going to the downside. We are actually breaking down right now. Well, that's on the 5 minute. On the 3 minute, you basically, when you're using this, you get to know which time frames work for which charts. And I am using an index chart here, which is not preferable, but you can see on the 1 minute, it's been insanely accurate. So it's a great indicator to use to trade. But at the moment, I've been focusing on the oscillator more than anything, just because it's giving those longer term, better trades that I actually quite enjoy taking. So just to make you all aware of that. Now, moving on from that, we've got some news to discuss today. We will get back to the James Wynn thing in just a second, by the way, so do stick around for that. Also, by the way, I've not asked yet, drop a like on today's video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Most of you do press the like button. I really appreciate that. We get such a tremendous amount of people liking these videos, which is amazing. Join the TMG community. You might not know, if I'm popping up in your algorithm for the first time in a while, that this is actually the second channel, which is now the main channel, because the main channel's in YouTube jail because it keeps having videos taken down and I can't seem to post on there. And if I post one more time and another post gets taken down, the channel gets deleted forever. So I've had to take all of my videos down on the main channel and I can't post on it for 3 months. So if you wouldn't mind, slap like and subscribe to this one, because this is now the main channel and we're going to run this to 100,000 subscribers, which is going to be amazing. We're going to get back to this account in just a second. For now, the news. The news is pro-Bitcoin Carol Nauer, I picked a bad name to pronounce there, has won the presidential election in Poland. Poland's now got a pro-Bitcoin president. Ethereum exchange reserves have now made a new low, which is pretty amazing. I mean, people are acquiring this. This is all in anticipation of what's going on with SharpLink here. SharpLink is the company that runs all of the gaming companies on the, like, you know, when you play an online game that's for gambling, that's the company that's behind matching all of the orders and everything like that. They've got a lot of money and they want to buy $1 billion worth of Ethereum, despite Ethereum actually still being an inflationary currency, so it doesn't quite carry the same weight as Bitcoin does when it comes to making these weird Ponzi schemes with borrowed money. Jerome Powell might resign later today, as I've already explained, but he probably won't do. James Wynn didn't deposit. That's not actually correct from my admin there. He already had $4 million in his account. He just transferred where it was in his account from kind of the spot area to the trading area, and he redeposited and then lost most of it. The Fed is actively exploring blockchain technology. The US Bitcoin ETFs bought 50,000 Bitcoin last week. In total, the US spot ETFs hold 1.2 million Bitcoin. That's quite a significant portion of supply at this point. That's like, what, 4%? And then finally, the Fed says good news, rate cuts are still possible later this year, but it's unlikely anything happens with that today when Jerome Powell gets on his stream. Back to this account here. He's going to get liquidated here at $104,000. I unfortunately believe this is going to happen, and I unfortunately believe he's much better off closing this trade than he is leaving it open, because the odds of you making it out of the woods on a 40x cross-leverage trade, it just doesn't seem worth it. Like, the price currently is so close to your liquidation point. If you get liquidated, you lose all of this part as well. So don't get liquidated. Just close the trade, take the loss, come back to it at a later date. But we've been saying that for a while, and he's not doing it. So I guess I am deeply sorry for your loss, man. It's terrible, but Christ, it's just, oh, it literally reminds me of it reminds me. This is why I laugh a little bit, but I laugh because I know that it happened to me once over as well. Tied myself in a loss, tied myself in a knot, lost in the span of, in 2022, I think it was, in the span of like 2 weeks, lost like 20 something million dollars, maybe more. And honestly, that was a life-changing event for me, because I had really life-changing money, and then I couldn't face to take any more losses, and then I ended up running so much more down. I'm not poor by any means, but I would have a lot more money if I'd have handled the 2022 bear market a lot better than what I did. I get accused of dumping. No, everyone dumped on me. It was terrible. I don't know if you held Exceed Me during that period of time. I started off the bull market with like 100K of Exceed Me. I then ran it into like being like $8 million. And I think currently, having not sold any of it, I think it's worth about 10K. So yeah, that's why you should always sell your altcoin bags. But I'm good at that now. I've learned my lessons, and I'm actually pretty decent when it comes to taking a profit, which is why I'm a lot more aggressive with it. And yeah, we don't end up with the crazy P&L, but we end up with a consistent P&L. And 10 to 20K a day in earnings is worth a lot more than one 200K a day and then one minus 200K a day. That's what I wanted to eliminate from my life, and so far for the past few months I've actually been doing a pretty good job at it. And it's all about discipline. As soon as you lose discipline and you fall off the ball, it's kind of like a cokehead that goes and rings up the bagman. As soon as they lose the discipline, they're back on it all the time. With me, I'm the same with trading. If I fall off the wagon a little bit, we whack up the leverage and we have a little bit of fun, but never to the same crazinesses that it used to be, because I don't want to make losses like that. And I would always encourage people, if you're in a loss, take it. Don't deposit more. Go back to it. The market will still be moving tomorrow. You can come back to it anytime. Anyway, that's what we're talking about for today. It's been an interesting one for sure. Just keep an eye on the downside here on Bitcoin at 104. I mean, kind of losing the 104 level will take us down to 100K. You can see if we zoom out on the chart, that kind of be the next range of liquidity that there's going to be down here. In fact, I've just realized I've done the whole video with brightness down on the computer. But yeah, and then Ethereum natural level becomes about there. For Solana, we are currently here. And to be honest, that's why I've sold my coins a little bit, because I believe that 143, like I said in previous videos, still seems quite likely. Like, this is ultimately a bear flag. And if we're not expecting a bullish market open today on the stock market, which I'm really not, to be honest, that'll probably continue to head to the downside. When it comes to Ethereum versus Bitcoin, that's starting to drop value again versus Bitcoin, meaning that Bitcoin is stronger. Ethereum is losing. I mean, to be honest, Ethereum probably makes quite a good short position. I should probably be shorting more of these things than what I actually am. If we look at my trades, like, the bulk of it's just tiny long positions, and really I should close all of those out. In fact, because I want a fresh start, I'm closing everything. Bosh. Right. Now we've realized our profits, because it was actually profit in that, even though I'm doing it. Like, if we bounce back to the upside, it makes sense for me to close out. So I'm going to go and figure out some more trades that I can take, and I will be posting them in the cryptosavingexpert.com Discord group. You can join that by going cryptosavingexpert.com, link in today's video description. And you go on the Join CSE Plus page, and then, oh, I pressed on the wrong button again. And then, because a lot of people are asking me, how do I join the Discord? It's very simple. So you go on the monthly tier here, you click on that button, it says £100 a month. But if you use code, you click on sign up, and then you use a checkout code CSE80 or code NY80. It gives you 80% off. It makes it £20 a month. You get all of my trades in the Discord group. And to be fair, they've actually been really good recently. A lot more than £20 worth of the value has been delivered in that group. It's actually been very strong. So, and also, you get access to an amazing community of people. You get access to an amazing website that you can actually learn from, like, significantly. There is so much information and education that is included in that subscription that you get all of these courses and education and everything, and it'll teach you. There's so many different sections on here that you can learn and how to actually make money. And the most valuable one, I always tell people is this one, how to become a community manager. Our community has produced so many community managers, and these guys are earning 10K a month just being on Telegram and teaching, just talking to people on Telegram. That's all they do. They just log on to Telegram all day and talk to people. That's the best course that we make, because it's created so many independent people that have managed to quit their jobs and basically just run Telegram groups for meme coins. It's amazing. Anyway, yeah, we're still heading to the downside. Things are looking rough out there. Don't forget, check out BYBIT. You'll find a link in today's video description. Get yourself a BYBIT card. Honestly, it's a life-changing experience. It actually is. That's not even an exaggeration. It has changed my life to make it so much easier to pay for everything. And yeah, we'll wrap things up there, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. Slap a like, subscribe. And the final word of advice for today is be careful, because leverage is dangerous, but leverage can be so profitable at the same time. You need to just be sensible. Because if you're not sensible, it can end up costing you a lot of money. But if you're sensible, you keep your leverage low, you'll be fine and you'll make money. Just be sensible. Follow the market direction. If the trend changes, follow it. On that note, guys, it's not political and what's the word? You don't need to be like patriotic about being a bull or being a bear. You just need to want to make money. If you flip-flop and you change your direction consistently, I'd be willing to bet you make more money than the person that's always long or always short. So have a great day. See you in a bit. Check out links in today's video description and make sure you're subscribed. Ciao.